All right. Hello, hello, hello. Greetings, everyone. Today is Friday, and it will be my first time doing Feedback Friday for this season. How's everyone doing today? What's up, Noxel? Hey, Eidolon. Thanks again for those pins. They turned out really great. Hello, man, with such insight. Very deep. Well, I hope you guys have some tunes for me to listen to. I figured I'd just jam for a moment, allow some people to gather, and then we shall create a Nightbot raffle. Create a command and allow people to enter the raffle and share something that they're working on. All right. Let's get the ball rolling. Okay. So, how are we gonna do this? Let's do a keyword to select who can participate. Everyone. Anyone can participate. Actually, be kind of cool to do music theory quiz based raffles where you can only enter the raffle if you answer a question correctly. All right. Everyone can join. Let's do exclamation mark join. I don't think we'll have issues with spammers. Unique winners. Yeah, I think that's a good idea. Chat announcement. Sure. Okay. If press done here. I got a 5 in the AP Music Theory exam 8 years ago and haven't thought about it since. I feel prepared. Is a 5? Is that a good... I don't know what kind of a grade that is. Okay, if you'd like to join, just type exclamation mark join. Ooh, that's a nice... Okay, I'm getting distracted. Thanks, Popcorn Pro. I appreciate it. Okay, let's get started. Oh, I should mention, I'm not looking for any wishes here, but it is my birthday today. So thanks for the birthday wishes. That being said, I'm gonna make these feedback streams are gonna be relatively short in general. Just gonna pop in and listen to some stuff y'all are working on. So planning to keep today pretty tight. Probably just an hour of listening and jamming. Thank you guys so much. Really appreciate it. Yeah, I'm gonna keep today to an hour, so I'll be out of here around 2 p.m. CDT. But in general, in the future, I won't have a problem with going over. But today I got some birthday plans. My fiance started my day off right. She got me some new socks and lots of donuts. We just ate like 5 donuts together. It was awesome. There was this it was like a combination of a cinnamon roll. It's like a cross between a cinnamon roll and a donut with little bits of walnut on top. So good. Okay, let's choose a winner here and get started. I'm at that age where I'd be thrilled to get new socks as a gift. I know how you feel. I was legitimately excited about that because all of my socks have been tearing, and I really needed socks. I like utilitarian gifts. I don't like it when people get you things that are not I like sentimental gifts and utilitarian gifts. Those are the 2 things that I think I like the most. And donuts, apparently. Cool. Let's choose a winner. Haywyre branded socks. Hey, you're onto something there. I might have to steal that idea. All right. What's up, Ession Gray? Damn. That was lightning speed. You were ready. You were ready for that. All right. Let's see what we're working with here. I hear some Reese's in the background. Curious about where this is gonna go. Hell yeah. This feels like it. Good production. It reminds me of like face messages, Noisia Vision label type stuff. Nice. I love it. So are you gonna elaborate on it, or do you think you're gonna call it quits in the track length? Nice. That was sick. Very well done. Trying to think if I have anything useful to share, but I don't think I really do. Scope? Oh yeah, for sure. It's an old version that is finished. Yeah, sounds very finished. Scope is sick. By the way, Scope and I made a track together years ago that never got released. Really talented producer. He's a pretty massive inspiration to me. Back when I started kind of getting more familiar with SoundCloud, I found his music on a label that we were both releasing on. I think it was called Caliber. They don't exist anymore. The owner kind of disappeared, apparently. Hey, what's up, Zapake? I appreciate it. Thanks for the follow. Caliber music mentioned. What, you know Caliber music? Yeah, I mean, that's a niche, extremely small label for a little bit that was releasing some cool music. Unfortunately, they're gone. But anyways, really well done. I was listening to quite a lot of D&B while doing some gardening work recently, so I feel like I feel like my ears are freshly tuned to notice, what good D&B sounds like. So I think I'd know if there's something that I felt like was missing, and there wasn't anything, in my opinion. So sick track. His style's more funky as of recent. Gotcha. All right, let's roll to the next one. Wolf King Aaron. What is up? Oh, did you not join? Maybe I did the raffle wrong. That's my bad. Hey, Sapik, if you want to join the raffle for us to listen to something, just type !join. Okay, sorry about that, Wolf King. I'm not sure how that happened. Oh, let's re-roll. Okay, hopefully this isn't the same issue here with Bazzingoso. I have a feeling that might be the case. I know Eidolon and Noxel and Sapik, you guys all submitted, so let's just roll to the next one. Do you have piano training or are you self-taught? Both. I have. You don't have a song? Don't worry about it. It's all good. All right, feel free to share, Sapik. You are up next. Yeah, I did study for preferably SoundCloud. So that would be awesome. Just a private SoundCloud link would be great. Dropbox works too. All right. See what we got here. Hey, thanks for gifting that sub, Essian Gray. Very kind of you. I like these vocals. Can't help myself from playing a little bit of piano in there. I like the vibe a lot.
Actual, true love.
I like how soft the vocals are performed as well. Is that your voice? You got some talented people in your chat? Yeah, seriously. Got it. It's a vibe. Cool, love it. Apologies for jamming on top of your track there. But it felt appropriate. Nice. That's a really great tune. Are you, hope you're planning on finishing that and releasing it? Jam gave you some ideas to add? Yeah. Let's go. Love to hear it. All right. I'm working on an EP to go with this track as a main one. Awesome. Well, hopefully you let me know when that EP is out. Do you release music under that under your the same name as your Twitch account, Sapake? Gotcha. Nice. Speaking of which, Ession Gray, do you release... what is your alias? I'm kind of curious. Is it Ession Gray? In the meantime, we got Noxel up next. How's it going? Thanks for hanging out today. Feedback Fridays. You would love my honest feedback on the mix structure and energy. Absolutely. Do you ever feel bored or lose attention? Don't hold back. I'm looking to improve. Yeah. You know, I guess I've been doing a poor job. I don't want to... yeah. I appreciate you letting me know that that's what you're looking for. So I won't hold back any thoughts I have here. All right, let's check it out. Noxel Enclosure. Very cool. I already have some thoughts, but I think I want to wait a little bit longer. Listen and see where you take this this track next. okay halftime. I like that you're taking a lot of creative liberties. All right, back to 4 on the floor. Key change. I will say I'm a sucker for A-B drops, so I like the concept a lot. Okay, looks like we still have a couple minutes going on here. My bad. Tempo change here. You know, depending on where you go with this, I might almost consider this. You could consider this 2 tracks potentially. Oh, wait. Yeah, this feels like a different song at this point. Okay, so there's a callback to that motif. Okay. If the song is ending here, I probably wouldn't bring those perks in here, because that kind of is bringing up more momentum. But it's not that big of a deal. Awesome. Cool. Well, let me tell you, first of all, I enjoyed it. I think for the most part it keeps your attention because you have a lot of ways you're kind of keeping the listener's attention with, like, you know, the key change, like going halftime or those kind of things, and transitions are very smooth. I think that there's a couple things that stood out to me that I think could help a lot with or maybe more than just a couple of big picture things. Maybe 3 big picture things. The first one is I guess the first thing I'll say is that it almost feels like you might have 2 tracks on your hands here. Once it reaches this point here in the middle, you could, of course, keep it and kind of like add it as like a... Sometimes it's fun to create these sections that feel like they're almost, like a completely different song, just to then kind of tie things back or to just end it like that. I think a lot of like sometimes hip hop instrumentals do that and stuff, and I think producers like Virtual Riot, I know that he has. I'm sure there's at least a couple of songs of his where he has like these sections that feel like they're very different than what the rest of the song sounds like at the end. But anyways, So that's one thought I had, is that um, maybe you could consider that basically being a transition into the next song. But next thing that comes to my mind is and this isn't this isn't a jab by any means, but obviously I'm giving feedback here. So this, what I guess you could call the drop, it feels a little bit like nothing is bad in the mix, but it does feel a little bit like they're I think from a listener's perspective, this doesn't matter that much, but it does feel a little bit like you're just kind of transitioning between loops. Like, it sounds a little bit like, there's like kind of like an Oliver drum loop in the A section here. And then, and it's not a problem that the drum kit changes, but I would want there to be a little more consistency, I think, just in the general impact of the drum like sound. And it's totally fine if the kit changes a bit. So that's another thought I had. I think in general, the impact of your drums here, considering the style, is maybe I think in general the sounds are maybe like a tiny bit. Actually, in the A section, it's okay. In the B section, I'd say that the kick drum kind of the impact isn't that great, because it's really there's a lot of stuff going on in the mids there, and there's a lot less going on in the low end with that kick drum. And I think that it makes it I think it affects the impact quite a lot. But I get what you're going for. Like, the AB stuff is awesome, and I think that it will require a little more finessing to really nail. Let me listen to this again. Right. So like those hi-hats as well, for example, and if it is from a drum loop, that's totally fine. But it could be really nice to have more elements that carry over from A to B, aside from just kind of like, the general key of the song isn't changing, right? But other than that, almost everything is different. And I think it could be nice to, like, the hi-hats could be another element that maybe stays the same going from A to B sections. So this was another thing, like, from a music theory standpoint, that I thought was kind of interesting. So you're kind of like, in the beginning of the song, you have a kind of a different feeling, different vibe you're going for if you're going to have chords like that. And I feel like that doesn't quite foreshadow what's going on here. Because now you've changed from B flat major to B flat minor, which is totally fine, and you can catch people off guard with that. That could be something you would do intentionally, for sure. But I would say that I would lean in the other direction. Obviously, your song at the end of the day, but I'm just curious what an A-B section would sound like if you were to try to stick to that, which it kind of leads me into my next point, which is I wish there was more, like, after you're done listening to the song, and I hate to keep saying stuff like this, but, like, I'm just giving my perspective, right? Do with it what you will. It's just my 2 cents. You can ignore everything I'm saying, and that's totally fine. But for me, something that's really powerful in music is being able to kind of have something that you are left with after listening to a song, some maybe like a feeling or maybe like a lyric that really stuck out to you. And I think the two things that I like the most about this song are, from that perspective at least, is that little motif. I think that I forget how the rest of it goes, but that I think is something that would be nice to like emphasize more. It's very soft in the song right now. I think you use it here in the intro and then in the outro briefly. I think maybe in the middle as well. But I think that's something that you could have a bigger moment in the song where you really emphasize that melody. So the other thing, I think the A/B stuff is from a production and like songwriting standpoint, that's really fun. So that would have stuck with me. I would have been like, oh yeah, I heard the song that like had this kind of like call and response drop pattern that I thought was really cool. But if you're hoping to appeal to other listeners as well, and I don't know, up your chances, I guess, of something sticking with someone, it could be really cool to try to find a way to emphasize that melody more. And last but not least, I like the key change a lot. I think in general it could be helpful to decide. There's nothing wrong with going between parallel majors and minors, and at one point the chord progression goes from like the B flat major to then in the call and response section of the drop it goes, and that's a very different feeling. Like obviously much more dramatic, less like uplifting, and kind of like empowering, or however you might want to say it. And that's cool, but I would consider trying to stick to one or the other, unless that this is kind of how you want to guide the listeners emotionally. So anyways, that's all I got for you. Sorry, I kind of shared a lot of stuff there, but hey, thank you so much for the birthday wishes, y'all. Thank you so much. Yeah, 808. You intentionally picked a track with quite a few flaws. Hey, yeah, I mean, hopefully I give you some ideas to consider, and thanks so much for sharing. Again, I really liked it, so let's go on to the next one. It is my birthday, yeah. Oh wait. Aquaforth, what is up? Do you have a song for us to listen to? Oh, yours too? Let's go. August Gang. The Superior birthday month. Thank you guys so much. I think I've mentioned this before, but I'm not a huge birthday guy, but I do appreciate it. All right, this is Aquarius 4th, Sense Games. sick. Love it. Oh, this is off by a few cents, isn't it? Damn. Interesting.
Letting go is something we fail at, and forgiving ourselves for not being capable of everything as human too, and even a human need. It is humble to stop when we are not able to complete a task. We all fail sometimes. In our
Very
work,
adventurous
with our families and
chords
friends,
here.
and just being ourselves and of being human. It is part of what our being human that means we fail.
That skip is so trippy.
This week, I encourage you to have kindness for yourself and for others when you or they mess up or fail. We're in more than one choice, one moment, and in our failures, in the ways we recover, in the moments after.
Very cool.
That is where our humanity lies.
Very a unique listening experience, I will say. You kind of have an interesting combination of things going on. Lots of like textural stuff. You've got like this unquantized hip hop feel with bass sound design, and then you have like these pretty interesting like choices in terms of like the modulation, the interlude in the middle of the song with those like modulations and stuff, and it's also a few cents away from traditional tuning. I could tell when I was trying to jam on it. So really great tune. I think if you're looking for feedback, you're obviously not approaching writing. Hey, False End Music, thank you for the sub. Much appreciated. Yeah, I think if this is how you're approaching creating a song, you're obviously not really necessarily super interested in like a more traditional structure. So I don't think that I should really say much from that perspective. It did feel that the dynamics, generally speaking, were a little off. It felt a bit squashed. Not so much necessarily in. I actually think this was maybe like my favorite part here. And I almost wish that there is another section of the song that kind of went into that again. But yeah, I think there's just some mix choices that could help you out. That vocal that's kind of like that tribal singing almost, that's like sitting on top. It's pretty it's a little bit too present in the mix a lot of the times, I think. And it gets a bit messy at times as well. I think some of the yeah, it might be worth going through and like soloing some of the elements just to see if there are any ways to improve some of the like articulation and the bass sound design and stuff. Most of the time it's totally fine, but there are moments where yeah, it needs a little bit of taming. Similar thing I would say over here. The writing is great. The production, like a lot of the sound selection is good too, but in terms of the execution on like that bass sound, I think it can be improved a little bit. Might involve taming some of those frequencies, but also I think just getting the right harmonics to pop out as well. There are times where it feels like there are some unwanted harmonics in your bass sounds. Yeah, I also noticed this, like the sub moves separately from that really distorted lead. I feel like that sometimes creates some weird creates some weirdness in the mix. I would consider trying to find a way to have those basically be like glued together. And you know, if you're going for kind of like that brick wall type sound, it might be hard to pull it off in this way. But anyways, yeah, those are just some ideas to consider. Really like the idea, and I think I like this part over here the most. I think, you know, another thing, this vocal gets, I don't even think it's necessarily that loud, but because of the elements that are taking up the majority of the mix here, there's not much that's competing with the vocal there. Could be fun to try to add some more effects to it and experiment with it, you know, instead of just having like this. There obviously already are some effects on it, but maybe something like some weird like phaser or like comb filter stuff happening instead of just keeping the vocal the same, because I think that you hear it. Yeah, you hear the same vocal during like that first drop as well. So as Young Gray is my teacher. Oh, crazy. Well, either way, thank you so much for sharing that idea. And it's dope. I love the unquantized feel. Let's hop on to the next track, y'all. I think we got 2 left, and then we might be finished with the first Feedback Friday. What's up, Eidolon? I was wondering when it was going to roll over to you. Yeah, of course. I hope some of the feedback is helpful. Whoa. Feel free to be brutal. All right. Try to step outside of my character. Get the bad cop out. All right, let's see what you got. All right, let's see where you take us for this next drop. Feels kind of like a cross between Subtronics and Virtual Ride-ish. I will admit, I don't listen to a ton of dubstep these days. But the melodic bass line does kind of make me think of that style for sure. I think Subtronics is particularly known for that, like the melodic single note bass lines. Although I think the sub isn't following that. I think your sub is just on the tonic, right?
Let me tell you what happened.
Yeah. I think I like the idea and it works obviously. I think that the biggest issues I have with it, I feel like the harmonic relationships between those two sounds isn't quite convincing enough to me. Like the melody and the sub, and it might be the sound selection of that layer that's playing the melodic element. I also think, and this is a stylistic choice, but for some reason I wonder, I know in the second drop you have a snare with a much lower fundamental, and I wonder if something like that could be nice here. I think one of the hard things to pull off with when you have drops with snares that are tuned quite high, what's hard is that I'm trying to think of the best way to try to articulate this thought, but the kick presence is generally all over the area where the sub's gonna be. So when the kick sidechains the sub, there's hey, thank you for the follow, RIs, appreciate it, and thanks for chatting for the first time. The kick is living in that lower frequency range where you hear subs. But when you have these snares with really high fundamentals, they often are, they can duck. It sounds to me like the snare is ducking or sidechaining, your sounds. And when you have like such a high fundamental snare cutting the low end, it almost feels it feels like it's a sound that shouldn't be sidechaining it, is sidechaining it because it doesn't have that presence in that low end. So it's not necessarily always the case, but there's a couple of ways around this. First of all, you can do more you could do like multi-band sidechaining, or like like using Soothe or something like that, where you can use the actual frequency information from that snare to sidechain only those frequencies in the other sounds. So you could just group, like if you're literally, I guess in my mind, the easiest way would be to just group everything but the drums that you want to sidechain into one big group, or put them all into one send, let's route them all into one track, and then you throw a soothe on there, and you take the audio information from that snare and then try to fine tune it from there, because sometimes it doesn't feel like the snare warrants sidechaining those that low end, because that's, I guess, obviously the whole purpose of sidechain is when you've got competing elements, to kind of give one of them the spotlight, and have the other one go further back into the mix so that they're not competing with each other. The other thought is, you could potentially consider just doing a snare with a lower fundamental there as well. But then again, stylistic choice. You have that snare with the lower fundamental here. And that's one other thing I was going to mention here is it does feel like rhythmically, I love that you're switching things up here, compared to the first drop, but I think some of the rhythmic, the new rhythms you're introducing here, I'm not completely convinced by them. I think you'd have to maybe foreshadow stuff like that a little bit more for it to work here. The dun dun dun, like, because up until now, the what's happening rhythmically is very, very much like downbeat emphasis, bum 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 bum, right? And the dun dun dun, like, that's a very intensely subdivided rhythm, whereas the other stuff is quite simple. So I think maybe you could try to foreshadow some more complex rhythms in the build. It's always a great way to try to pull off something new in the drop, to allow some of those to work a bit better. Just a thought. I don't know if that'll actually work, but I figured I'd throw it out there. But yeah, great tune, man. I like the... Thanks, Eidolon. Really appreciate it. Cool. Let's go to the next track. iFeature Music. Well, what is up? We are listening to tracks. And once again, it's just my 2 cents. So, like I said, I haven't been listening to tons of dubstep. I've kind of, I used to have a lot of fun listening to it, and I think yeah, you can send it. You could send it here now. If you have a private SoundCloud link, that would be preferred. What was I going to say? I don't know. I don't really listen to much dubstep these days, so who knows if my feedback is that relevant. What kind of genre are you feeling these days, Mr. Wire? Well, it's a good question. I mean, I have been enjoying, like, casually listening to, like, drum and bass and house, some, like, generic stuff and some, like, more underground stuff as well. You can never go wrong with jazz. I don't know. I'm kind of trying to find, like, I guess I've been trying to find some new things that are piquing my interest. Trying to do a better job of digging through the internet archives to find stuff that could be interesting. All right, this is iFeature Drive From Here. Let's check it out. And I'm really sorry if I didn't get a chance to listen to your track today. Normally,
I can feel it starting.
I would go longer than an hour.
I can tell what reality feels like. Shit feels like no gravity. Oh, I can tell the end is near. I could drive from here to another space where we don't complain. Yeah. What are we fighting for?
Love it.
We're gonna lose all of this in one day.
Personally, I think you might be sidechaining the vocals a tiny bit too much. Sick.
I feature SoundCloud Messiah.
Feels like Laxity and Flume. I love it.
But I still can't figure it out. I could drive from here to another space
When the drums come in,
where we don't complain. Yeah.
I personally feel like they could sidechain your vocals a little bit
What
less.
are we fighting for?
Maybe some kind of multi-band
We're
sidechain
gonna
instead.
lose all of
The high end
this
isn't
in one
ducking as much.
day. Yeah. Maybe there's another way.
Really creative. Great track. I will say that last section felt a tiny bit empty compared to some of the other sections similar to it. I think maybe just missing like one or two background elements. It was just a little bit too dry. What a great tune. I love it. Awesome. Thank you so much. Man, you got so many talented people in the chat today. Yeah, so in my opinion, those are the two things that I noticed. Just the sidechaining on the vocals, and then this section here. Yo, Octave, thank you for the follow. One other thing, I have this pet peeve with are you using Little Altar Boy to format shift by any chance around here? I do. There's something that happens with some format shifters. It creates these really harsh and not cool tones and voices sometimes. And I know it's a really small, nitpicky little thing, but there's some stuff going on there that could be soothed out of there. But Anyways, lovely tune. Okay, listen, I gotta at least listen to one more. I know I said I would stop after an hour today, but y'all are hitting me with some heat. So let's do one more here, and then we'll call it for today. And then I'm gonna do Birthday Fangs. I'm assembling the family squadron for a dinner. I get to hang out with my nieces. Pretty stoked. False End Music, what's going on? Would you happen to have a track for us to listen to? I dislike how much I have to cut things sometimes when I format shift. Yeah, I don't know. It really depends on the format shifter. I mean, a lot of times I love the little altar boy format shifting, but okay. Last track of the day. Let's check it out. What do we got? Oh, that link did not work, sir. I think it sent me to your yeah, no worries. All good. All right, here we go. Okay, so this is Falls End ID. Let's check it out.
There was snow in the hallways, there was blood on my teeth. Growing blind to the butterflies around me, knowing I'd remember it accurately. Like a joke, I swear that I wrote, I know I'm not alone in wondering. The vertigo of trying to get close to who I was before remembering.
Alright, we're getting serious now.
And I want it to be wrong when it's all done. Is there really no happiness without this feeling? Give me a drug, fall in love. Is there really no happiness without you and me?
Cool. I don't know why it reminds me a little bit of old school Knife Party. Little.
Making love to the man you think I've been chasing the track and you've been watching me weep. Saying something's a bad life to remember. Loves that help me. Well, maybe it's my fault, 'cause I'm so nostalgic. There's some of my habits have you sharing my accent, and you're just like me. I feel like I trained you. I've been trying to change, but I don't know how to change you.
Pretty stark contrast between the intro vibe and the drop vibe, which is cool.
and I want it to be wrong when it's over and done. Is there ever happiness?
How are you gonna replace the vocals? Just out of curiosity. Blade Runner. Cool. Yeah. That's a cool track. I like it a lot. I think that so I know you have kind of like almost like a I don't know if it's like the pattern is obviously not 4 to the floor. I'm wondering, I do like it a lot once you do have the 4 to the floor pattern here. Or is it here? Or I guess it never is fully 4 to the floor. I'm not 100% sold on the drum pattern, I think, for the drop. But it works, regardless. Part of me wonders whether it would be more effective with just the 4 to the floor, but I like what you did regardless. The only other thing too I would say is the fake out here. I wonder what it would sound like without the hi-hats in the background. I think it'd be kind of cool if maybe you just had the bass sounds there, that initial kick drum, and then it's just bass sounds for whatever, those like couple of measures, and then you bring everything in together with like some kind of another fill. I think that the hi-hats threw me off a little bit when I heard like the fake out there, because it kind of felt like yeah, I'm not sure if I can articulate it properly, but either way, just a consideration. Also really like the second drop as well. I do have an idea to throw out your way here. So, in terms of a track structure and like compositionally, what's going on in the track, you have like this very beautiful, emotional kind of intro to the song. It takes a turn, gets really dark and aggressive and intense, and cool sound design, intense drums. And that continues on for a while, and then kind of reintroduces this more beautiful element. This almost feels like it could be like a bridge in the broader structure of the song. You could consider it a second drop the way you have it right now, or it could be like this is the some kind of little departure from like what you've established so far in the track, and it's a heavier exploration of kind of like the more emotional element of the song, and then you could tie it back around and end it with the more aggressive portion after this again. But totally your call. I think it works the way it is structured now for sure. It's tough because I definitely hear a few other structural ideas as well that I'll just throw out there as suggestions. Noxel Music, thanks for subscribing. I think at the end of the day, it's all your choice. A part of me wonders whether you start the song in a way that kind of foreshadows some of the more aggressive elements of the track more. So like, let's say maybe you have like these piano chords. Cool. I love that little chop in the background. Okay. And then maybe from there, instead of having the vocals come in with those chords here, it sounds great, but maybe instead of that, you have like a toned down version of this section here. Maybe just like the kick drum and the bass, something like that. Start like kind of showing like, oh shit, okay, like this is kind of setting the tone that like, hey, beautiful intro, but no, we're gonna take this somewhere intense and heavy. And I think that could help drive the listener towards this drop more. It's like the only reason why I'm throwing that out as an arrangement idea is because even though you have like this entire build that helps transition between like this emotional section, sorry about these email notifications, this like more emotional section to bring it into the heavier stuff, I think that they almost feel so different. I've heard plenty of EDM that does this, and I don't think it's a bad thing. It's just a personal choice. I think they're a little bit too unrelated almost. It feels kind of like transitioning into a different song, like a DJ transition or something like that. And that's not a bad thing at all. It's just from a compositional standpoint, I think that it's not my favorite way to go about it. So that's why I would suggest maybe doing that. And then the cool thing, if you were to go that route, is that you could have something more melodic like this at the bridge. But yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, whatever structure you want to follow, I mean, the track works as is. So thanks for sharing. Appreciate it. All right, y'all. I'm going to call it there for today. Thank you so much for hanging out for Feedback Fridays. And I'll be back on Sunday to stream some more. And I am going to enjoy the rest of my birthday and hang with the fam. And yeah, thank you so much for sharing so many dope tunes. It's always surprising to see what people are creating. So we gotta do follow. It's Spritz. What's going on? Thank you for the follow. And yeah, sorry to kind of very quick stream today, but Feedback Fridays are generally going to be shorter than my my normal streams. So yeah, I'll see you guys. Wait. Oh, okay. I thought I saw somebody Baby redeemed. Thank you for sparing me, Junie. Do the baby redeem on Sunday if you want. And thank you guys again for the birthday wishes. Peace out. See you soon. Later.